find me in the club. Bottle full of love, mama. I got what you need if you need to feel the buzz. I'm into having sex, I ain't into making love. So come here, hug if you're in the club. When I pull up out front, you see the bands on dubs. When I roll 20 deep, it's all this drama in the club. Niggas out there on drain, everybody show me love. When you sell like Eminem, you get.
What's happening, fellas?
Playoff time.
We got the same sponsor as last week. Coors called us and said 8-ounce cans went up 65% after last week's show. So they said, do it again, fellas. So
we're doing it.
here we are.
We're doing it. So, Thomas, how fast was that season?
Flew by.
Yeah, I can't even remember how short of a time it was.
Yeah, I just feel like as as everybody gets older, we're so busy. Before you know it, it comes and goes.
Yeah.
The only good part about that is before we know, we'll be back down here drafting again next year.
Which is the funnest part of this whole thing.
That's right. That and winning it all,
I agree with you on that.
which is what we're here to talk about today. So, let's get right to the matchups. We'll try to cut the video down a little bit from what it was last week. We're going to hop right into it. We got the number 3 seed, 8-6 Red Zone Warriors versus the number 2 Slap 'em to Sleep, 10-4. All-time series tied at 3 apiece. Current projections: 103 Red Zone, 108 Slap 'em. Slap 'em was the number 1 seed on this side pretty much the entire year and lost it in the last week.
Isn't that something?
I mean,
He's
that
got a
happens.
good team.
He's got a hell of a team.
Yeah.
Looking at this matchup, this is going to be close, and this is going to be a theme for the show. All of them are close. Looking at it, it is Red Zone's first time ever in the playoffs. It's his 4th year in the league, so that's why that number's low. He was very close last year. I think he missed it on the last week from getting in, and he had a hell of a team last year. He's got another good team this year. Could definitely win it. That caliber of a team. Slap 'em's got the best team he's ever had in his life.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that comment.
Yeah, it's a hell of a team. He's loaded, and he did exactly what me and Ryan said last week. He had a horrible game. So he got that out of the way. Congratulations.
Yeah.
How are you feeling on this matchup?
So I like Slap 'em here. I think his team's better. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout like you have already mentioned with all of these games. But I do think that Slap 'em has the better team, and he's going to win this by 5.3.
So another thing I want to add in here, I looked at this today. I feel like when you score over 100 points, that's a big factor in your season. So I looked it up. Slap 'em has scored over 100 points 11 out of the 14 games. That's freaking impressive.
Yeah, in this league, it is hard to get to 100,
Yes.
and you're upset when you score 100 and lose.
Yes. Red Zone 7 times.
That's a good stat.
That's a good stat.
Yeah, I like it.
So with that being said, I personally am taking Slap 'em to win here by only 3.
Is that with the 2.5?
That's
or-
with the 2.5.
That's close.
Yeah. Now, on the website, it doesn't factor in your 2.5.
It does not.
But here, in the pregame show, we factor that in.
Correct.
Next matchup, we're going over to the AFC side. We have the number 3 seed, Child's Play, at 7-7 versus the number 2 seed, Washington Foreskins. Did I already say number 2 seed? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. He's got a 9-5 record. And this all-time series is 4-2 in favor of Child's Play. This is Child's Play's 7th time in the playoffs. That's including this time is added into this. And it is Washington Foreskins' 5th time. So these guys are no strangers to the playoffs.
No, not at all. And did they join the league in the same year?
They did not. I want to say Child's Play, he joined the same year as Primetime, and they were around a year, maybe 2, before the Foreskins came into the fold.
Got it.
Let's see here. Got the matchups, got that, got the all-time series lead. 100 points. Childs played 7 times this season, so he's roughly half his games are over 100. And Washington Foreskins is at 8. This matchup right now, this is funny. I don't know where Vegas is going with this, but right now Vegas has this 111 Child's Play, 94 Foreskins. Now I looked it up. He's got a full lineup in there. Now, 2 things with that. I do think Child's Play's got the better running backs. But sometimes they put those high numbers up there just to see who's going to put the money on the underdog, and they're really favoring the other team. So, Ryan, how do you feel in this matchup?
I'm going to say that this will probably be the biggest lead margin of victory, and I'm going to out of the 4 games.
Okay.
And I'm going to give it to Child's Play to win this by close to 16.
Okay. I have it a slightly closer. Again, things could change in the matchup. That could change that number. But I have Child's Play also winning this game by 6. So it's going to be close. I'm kind of factored that with the running backs. I think the running backs are going to change that. I want to say Derrick Henry and Kyron Williams. If they go off, that's going to be hard to catch.
Yes.
So, but moving on to the next matchup, we have the number 4 seed Hawk Stars versus the number 1 seed Bulldogs. This series is 9-6 all time in favor of the Hawk Stars. This is the Hawk Stars' 9th time in the playoffs, and it is the Bulldogs' 5th time in the playoffs. The 100 games, Hawk Stars has 6 100-yard games this year, and the Bulldogs have 8 100-yard games. Ryan, what's your feelings on the matchup here?
The matchup here, Hawk Stars receivers are ass. It's going to hurt them unless his running backs do exceptionally well, which they can. I'm going to give this to the Bulldogs, but only by 6.2.
Okay. Looking at it, you can see this 2 ways, right? You do have the better running backs in this matchup. And the receivers, you could look at it as their ass, or you could look at it as their due. So
Fair enough.
could be the determining factor. I think this game is really close, and I'm going to take the Bulldogs by 1, and that is factoring in the 2.5.
Ooh, that would be terrible.
So yeah, my guy Dave down there at with the Vegas betting, he thinks that if it was actually at the Hawk Stars place, it would be in favor of the Hawk Stars. But since it's a Bulldogs home game, he's giving them that 3, and that's why it's a 1-point Bulldogs.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
While we're going on this game, we spoke to Bunkin' Ain't Easy earlier this week, and he said Hawk Stars got lucky and should not be in the playoffs. And his Super Bowl prediction is Child's Play, slap them to sleep.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, okay.
Our last matchup on the slate this week is the number 4, got in last week, this last week, week 14, Fear the Turtle at 7-7 versus the number 1 seed Buffalo Tots at 11-3. All-time series 9-5 in favor of Fear the Turtle. And this is Fear the Turtle's 10th time in the playoffs. That's the most out of anybody in the playoffs this year. And the Buffalo Tots, this is their 9th time in the playoffs. Fear the Turtle has 5 games this year scoring over 100 points. And the Buffalo Tots have scored over 100 points 9 times. Last week, Fear the Turtle had highest score of 160.5 points.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That was
So
Now, all that being said with that is Josh Allen had something like 65 points by himself.
Yeah, he had a lot. I don't know the exact number, but
It was in the 60s.
it was high.
Maybe 59, but it was close to 60.
It doesn't matter. It was
Yeah.
a crazy number. It's probably a fantasy football record.
Yeah.
And I want to say Bunkin' Ain't Easy did tell me that earlier this week. There's two ways of looking at that score. That might be a death sentence, right? You score 160, you might come back and score
84.
right. The other part, on the flip side, Buffalo Tots hasn't lost since week 7. So
Ooh.
they're due. I don't know if that's a little foreshadowing, but they're due. Ryan, what's your thoughts?
I don't really, and I'm not hating on it, but I don't, Fear the Turtles team this year is not one of my favorite teams. I think, bleh.
Yeah, you were
I'm thinking of
about-
another game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Buffalo Tots wins this hands down by 12.
All right. Well, thank you for the kibosh there. Now we know who's going to win. And that goes to who I think's going to win. Year in and year out, you see these teams that barely get in and they catch fire right away. And he could. So I am taking Fear the Turtle to win by 5 here. I'm nervous. I don't know how the rest of the...
I think that, and I was talking to Child's Play earlier today, and I asked him if he was scared, which is nervous,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't answer me, and I said, I know you're scared because I'm scared as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, dude, I'm scared.
Yeah, getting here is everybody's goal because anything can happen, right? You strike it hot for 3 weeks and all of a sudden you're on that trophy forever. So that's why you get the nerves. I know my goal personally is to wait probably till tomorrow, really look at my lineup and set it, and then not look at my phone until I have to, because I don't want to do anything to jeopardize my original thought. So that's my plan. And best of luck to everybody.
Yeah, best of luck to everybody, and we'll see you back here next week. Those out of the 8 teams in the playoffs,
Yeah.
we're gonna bring the 2 Super Bowl champions in, whoever they may be, and like we do every year, and we'll take it from there.
All right. See you guys next week.